Hello and welcome to Finding Serenity in the Midst of Chaos podcast. Today we're talking about personal development. In fact, 3 benefits of personal development, and specifically, what does it mean for you personally and professionally? Stay tuned. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Chulai.
How are
Hello.
you?
All right, thank you.
Marvelous.
It's going to be
Good.
another good one.
It's going to be an amazing one, really. This is just our very hot topic. And I guess because we were quite short last week, I just wanted to kind of carry on. It's an extension of our last episode, but we're going to talk about personal development and what is in it for you personally and professionally, and what benefits does it bring? Because I don't know if you remember from your industry days,
You're right.
this sort of time of year at the beginning, we do our
Yes.
goals and we do this
Yes.
section called personal development in the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to erase it from my mind, but it's stuck in there. Yeah.
Your
Yeah. Carry on. This
personal
is not
development
painful at all.
plan. The personal development plan that everyone dreads to write. In fact, it's the only bit that I was looking forward to writing in my
Yeah.
time. But of course, I'd feel extremely deflated having written what my plan would look like and what I would need to do, which courses I need to go and stuff. Most of the time, my managers used to say, "Oh, just leave that bit blank. We don't have to worry about that right now. Just write whatever." And
Yeah.
that's the
You'll
kind of
cost us a
thing.
lot of money sending you on all these courses. Leave it blank.
But they didn't quite say that, but they
No.
didn't really have to anyway.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying what everybody else is thinking.
yes, probably. Yes, and I mean, now that you said that, I'll pick up on that and just
Right.
pick it apart a little bit.
Please.
People worry about the money that is going to be spent, but this is not money spent, this is money invested. When you
True.
invest in your own personal development, whether it's as a company, you invest in your people, whether as an individual, you invest in your own personal development, what you're really doing is making that money work for you because you're gaining new skills, you're enhancing the skills that you already have.
Yeah.
And what you end up doing is that that's going to pay you back in years to come, because you're going to be able to create new things with the skills that you have. So that's what the whole point that people are missing, the companies especially, because um, of the people development and the benefits that brings. But we will come into that. This is what the episode is about, the 3 main benefits of personal development. But what is in it for you personally and professionally?
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because we're not just looking at it from the point of view of people that are at work. We're saying there are personal benefits as well. So that
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
that's good.
Because let's just, go down to the very the fundamentals of this. It's called the personal development. The name, the clue is in the name, right?
It
It's
is, yeah, yep, self-explanatory.
self-explanatory. It's developing the person. One of my mentors used to say, develop the owner, not the business. This was a specific course for entrepreneurs. You develop
Oh,
the owner. When you develop the owner, the company will grow as a result. It's
I
because
see.
it's a reflection of the person who is running the company, or not, as the case may be, because after a while you won't be able to run when you don't have the right mindset, everything else. So the personal development is a very it's a big topic. Everyone talks about it, everyone knows about it. Most people, however, do personal development by reading books, and we know what that does, don't we?
Yeah, that's how I learned to ride a bike, by reading a book. Obviously,
Obviously, right? So that's our long running joke. If you
it
are
is.
new to our podcast, welcome. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button so you can get more videos like this. But if you're one of our regulars, you know what we mean by that. We don't learn by reading books. We don't learn by looking at instructions. We learn by repetition. We learn by falling on our faces sometimes, failing and getting up and down and learning our lessons. And that only comes from experience. I know that perhaps in the companies, there was this thing about 70% on the job learning, 20% from training, 10% from whatever. But it's basically yes, you need to apply what you're learning, but you need to learn it in the first place. You need to learn a new skill, or you need to enhance the skills that you have. So the personal development, what are the benefits? 3 benefits I'm going to talk about. What is it? The first benefit is a personal benefit. As the name suggests, it's personal development. You're developing as a person, you're growing as a person, you're increasing your self-awareness. But why is this important, especially when it comes to workplace?
Yeah.
Well, why is this important? Because if you are self-aware, you're not going to be taking on everybody else's problems. You're not going to be taking offense by what your boss says every single time. As we said before, whatever they do or say is to do with them rather than to do with your actions. And of course, if you are self-aware, you can also take responsibility for some of the actions that you take and maybe some of the things that you didn't quite do as you should have done, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah, because you're kind of taking ownership. You're aware of what you've done well, what you've done wrong, I suppose, and you know why that is probably. And yeah, it's actually really good because then if you've got the right image of yourself, it doesn't kind of matter what the boss says or what your colleagues say or whatever. If there's you know you get any bad comments made against you, is that
Yeah,
right in
but
thinking?
that's true. I mean, it's all about perception, outside perception when you get those sort of feedback, but you at least you'll be in a place where you can take it as a constructive feedback if it is that. Or you could just say, well, you know what, it's their perception and nothing to do with me. I can just get on and whatever. Of course, I can be more mindful of how I am around other people, but it doesn't mean anything about me as a person. It doesn't mean I'm a
Yes.
bad person. It just means that I have some things to improve on and I'm
Yeah.
more aware. And because I think people mistake this, and in the workplace,
Yeah.
most of the battle is knowing yourself and knowing others well, because you're a skilled person, you're in a workplace already employed to do a certain job. You probably
Yes.
could do the job with your eyes closed. Of course,
Yeah.
if you're operating machinery, do not do that. I'm not encouraging
Yes.
anyone to do
Yes. Other forms of practice are available
available,
with your
but
eyes open.
but metaphorically speaking, you're already good at your job. You can do that. And even there, when it's challenging, you can find ways to overcome those. But the most challenging element, which most people overlook, is to know yourself. It's what we call the emotional intelligence aspect, where you are your self-awareness, other people's awareness of other people, how you interact with people, how you build relationships, and all of that sort of stuff. And most of the stuff that we get irritated by, we get stressed about, we get anxious of,
Mm.
is to do with those. So
Mm.
the number one benefit of personal development, knowing yourself and knowing others, is just going to help you at workplace, and that's a great thing because you spend most of your time at work than at home with your kids and your husband or
Mm.
your family.
Yes. Yep. Okay. That makes sense then. Yeah. Know yourself, know others.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's about consciously making an effort to do that, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean that's personally it's going to help you grow as a person, and also one of the things about personal development, you need to take responsibility. It's not your boss's job, even though your boss needs to tick that box, as it were.
Yeah.
It's still your job to take ownership of that personal development. And it is easy at this time of year to just overlook, oh, if boss doesn't care, I don't care. Well, you should care because of the reasons we've just gone through one, and we're going to go through the next two, is you
Yeah.
should care more than anyone else because it's your life, your responsibility. And just because you have this job now doesn't mean you're going to have it tomorrow. So it's a
Yeah.
development as a person that
Yes.
you're essentially making yourself a very um I don't want to say invincible, nobody's invincible, but you're
That's
very
right.
kind of a good prospect, if you like, to employ and to be around. So that's
Yeah.
kind
Giving
of
yourself the best
Mhm.
opportunity to continue doing what you're doing and to do it better, really. I wonder if I could give an example from my own professional experience in the world of industry, going through all these
Absolutely, yeah.
process. We used to call it MAP process at one
Yeah.
time, managing and appraising performance,
Oh, that's
MAP, MAP. Yeah, that was
and
another
people
one.
used to call it, if you call it PDP, personal development plan, whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you can call it what you like, but
Any
one
acronym you like.
regret, anything you like.
Yeah.
What a lot of people think this is just a waste of time. Let's just go through it, tick the box, get it over, and then get on with the job. But what one of the regrets that I have really is allowing myself to go through that process, but not actually standing up a bit more and saying, look, you know, in the light of knowing yourself and knowing others, you know, I want to focus and do more work of the things that involve the skills that I'm good at, rather than, you know, for example, I'm a hopeless negotiator. So I don't want you to give me opportunities to try my negotiating skills so that I can get better at it. Let somebody else who's good at negotiating get on with the negotiating. I'll do the bits and pieces that I'm good and better at. And when you're doing the things that you find natural, the things that you're good at, the things that you've got strengths in, then I think you're a happier person and you're more productive and you do the company better and everybody wins.
Absolutely.
And I would have said, look, this isn't a rubbish process, but I don't want to be looking at what I'm doing bad and you giving me opportunities to work on them. I want you to give me more of the work that I'm good at and that I can do to make an even better difference. And I wish I would have said that, and in not just said it because I can say, oh no, sorry, Ian, that's not how it works. No, look, this is about, no, stop, sorry, forget it. This is me. It's my job. It's my responsibility. As you've said, Chulai, it's our own responsibility, not your boss's. You know, I'm telling you, this is what will make me more productive and more useful to this company. This is what will make me happier. This is what will make me be more of the person that I am. You know, knowing yourself, isn't it? We've said it.
Yeah.
It's one of the benefits. First benefit. We've got
Yeah. I
another two
mean,
coming, but
yeah.
that's one of the first. So I just wanted to throw that in. That's a bit of a regret that I have. You know, I don't wish I'd have gone and worked in America or Australia or wherever. As nice as that would have been, I'm quite happy that I stayed and did what I did for the length of time that I did it. And you know, there were good times and bad times, as you would expect over a long period of time. But that's one identifiable regret that I've got. Just thought it fits with what we're talking today.
Yeah, definitely. And I can relate to that. And for the first few years, I did the same. I was just always putting things that I wasn't good at to get better at them, but end up only not getting so much better at them because you could only get so much better at something that you're not,
Yeah.
you don't like doing or you're not naturally drawn to doing. But also you are making a lot of effort and wasting
Yeah.
all your energy on something that you're not already good at,
Yeah.
instead of giving the opportunity to someone who's good at doing that and carry on embracing that. And you end up wasting your energy, and then you waste your energy on the things that you're not good at. You then don't have energy left to do the things that you are actually good at. Funny, a bit of a tongue twister, but we end up wasting our energy
Yes.
because we are
Yeah.
just so attached to the fact that we must struggle to be good at
Yes.
something, as opposed to
Yes.
we could embrace who we are, we could embrace
Yeah.
what we are naturally good at and what we are here for, what we are employed to do, and let others do the things that we are not able to do so we can complement. That's why we had teams, right?
Yeah,
But anyway,
exactly.
but
Yeah.
after a few years, I realized, well, actually, this isn't working. Why not just embrace the things that I'm already good at? I'm good with people. I'm good with training. I'm good
Yeah.
at coaching. I can do this, and it's only then that I started to flourish
Yes.
at
Yes. That's
workplace
right.
and as a person. But
Yeah.
again, this didn't come from my manager. It came from because I invested in my own personal development over the years,
Right.
whether through books, whether through courses, whether through investing outside of the workplace with other coaches. That's how I became more aware of the things that were not working for me anymore.
Great.
And
Brilliant.
that's really important, and nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody's here to save you. It's your
Yeah.
responsibility. So anyway, we're coming
No,
to,
that's good. That's what this podcast is all about. You know,
yeah,
it's practical, and we like to throw our experience in when it relates to what we're talking about as well.
yeah,
So you're not alone if you've you know, if any of this is resonating with you. We've been through it and we're still here to talk about it. So
yeah.
you know, you can get there. So yeah, there's another two things coming, July.
And number
Another
two
two.
is so first, number one was is personally good for you because of the reason. It's number two, it's personally good for you still because people around you will change when you change. Because you're no longer going to get drawn into their, especially talking about your family and friends, their problems and their struggles and whatever.
Right.
Instead, you can watch
Yeah.
from the back and just say, be the sounding board, but
Yeah.
don't get
Good. Yeah.
drawn into it. Don't take responsibility for their emotions,
Right.
because when we are two victims, you're not gonna get victory.
Yeah. Makes
If that
sense.
makes sense.
It
So
does. Yeah. It's
you
logical.
you can't stay, you can't be here to help someone from here. You have to be there to help someone, pull them out of that place that they are in.
Right. Yeah.
And you can only draw people to yourself and be attractive in so many ways if you develop yourself. And this will help you feel better. It will help you manage your emotions at work and outside. It's going to help you with your relationships. It's going to help with your health and well-being, because when you have the self-development, self-love, and self-awareness, you're going to take care of yourself better, instead of, just putting yourself last and putting everyone else first and just burning out time and time again.
Yep, I've been there, I've done it. And
Yeah, so
I've also
that's,
done the other side of it as well.
yeah,
It is much better. So
isn't
yeah,
it just?
testimony.
Yes, exactly. So that's the second benefit to you personally outside of work. And the number three, the, the benefits to the workplace. And this is like, now the employers I'm talking to and the people who have the chance to ask their employers to invest in themselves, is
Right.
because there's this whole concept of cause and effect. There is
Yeah.
nothing happens without a cause. So, if the, I don't know, it's a silly example now.
Love it. Come
If the
on.
water doesn't evaporate, becomes clouds, and then the cold the cold air comes in, it doesn't come in, then we don't have rain, whatever it is. There's
Yes.
always a
Yeah.
cause, there's always a circulation.
Good
And
example.
if you don't, I don't know, if you don't have a virus, you don't cough. So
Yes.
it's a simple example that's going on around quite a lot right now.
Yes.
It doesn't happen without any reason. There's no fire without smoke, as they say. So companies focus on the effects, which is the money, the results, and whatever that, the stock exchange, that's what they are focusing on. But they are forgetting what's creating those is the
Yes.
people. Yes, there should
Yes.
be artificial intelligence and all of that sort of stuff, but it's the people who created that. It's the people who still have the creativity and the
Mm.
energy behind all of
Yeah.
that. And if you don't invest in your people, and if they're not feeling valued, if they're not feeling heard, if they're not feeling great in themselves, they're not going to be able to produce. We talked about this quiet quitting a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
you quit on yourself, you quit on your own development, and therefore you quit on the company. The company's job isn't necessarily to constantly do everything for you. You still need to take some responsibility, but the
Yeah.
very least they need to do is to not demotivate you. And that's the bare
Yes.
minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolute
But
bare minimum. And they have the duty of care for you to be taken care of in a way that you can produce the best results that you can, within the time frame that you're there and for the job description that you're paid for. So, if you need to look after your people, because the people are the things that create the results. So this is what the cause and effect is about. And if you want to pitch your case to your boss, this is what you ought to do. If I'm not feeling well, if I'm not feeling right in myself, if I'm constantly burnt out, what good am I going to be to you? I'm going to be taking time off sick. I'm going to be like a lifeless, person coming to work. I'm going to be irritated. I'm going to create tension in the workplace. And who wants that?
I so wish I could go back in time and say these things to my boss, because,
So do
it
I.
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, and it will just make them think, oh, okay, Ian's is self-aware of a problem that could
Mm,
actually impact me. And I think you're absolutely right. People have
mm,
said to me, oh, you're just a number, you're just a cog in the wheel, that you're,
mm,
especially in a big company, the company don't care about you. But
mm.
everybody is there for a reason,
Yeah.
to have a cause, to have a positive cause. We're talking about cause and effect.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want everybody to be at their best. If everybody is at their best, and now you're saying, well, you'll never get that. But if everybody is at their best, then there's no better thing for anybody, any organization or company or team.
Yeah, I mean, the very thing that we can do is do our best to be in our best, and it doesn't matter. We don't have to be always in a good mood or whatever. But if we are self-aware and aware of the others, then at least we can manage that through better.
Yes.
In order to not reflect and project that to other people.
Sure.
And that's one of the most benefits of personal development. Hold that thought, because I want to say this. In the last 4 years since I started my business, I had the most personal development.
Sure. Yeah,
In
I can believe
myself,
that.
and most growth in myself than
In
I did
yourself, yes.
prior 20 years in the industry. Why? Because I invest in myself, because I invest the time, the energy, and the mind to develop myself. Because if I don't develop, I'm going to stagnate.
Yeah.
And my business is not going to develop. I'm not going to help more people. And if I want to help more people, I need to change. And the same goes with you. If you want to do something different with your life, you're not going to continue looking at your manager to do your personal development plan. And no matter what he or she says, it's your responsibility to take charge in that.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
a good place to stop, doesn't it?
It is. I just want to say a lot of companies, do you remember the term IIP? Investor in people. I don't know whether that's something
that's right. I remember.
People talk, we are a IIP company. We are an investor in people company. And people are very cynical and very dismissive of that, saying, oh, great. Yes, it's all good theory, but it's completely rubbish in practice. And, they don't do it, basically. It's just to make them look good. But, I just thought of that with what we're talking about today, really. And if people did take it seriously and did it properly, a lot that we've talked about today would happen, and a lot of the benefits would be realized, I think.
Yeah, and I know that there is some company, we don't want to generalize too bad, because there are some companies who do invest in their people, and it's because of those investments that they are thriving and they are getting to the places that they are getting to. And in the earlier days of the companies that we used to work for, we did get those days and the personal development aspects. And as cynical and sometimes jokey and whatever as we were about them, they did add a lot, and I really used to enjoy them. And like I said, it is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to take charge and do something with it, with your personal development, even if your manager doesn't. But yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that is a good time to finish then, Chula. So another good conversation. And if you're new to us, welcome. Stay with us. Listen to more of this sort of stuff. Go back, subscribe to the channel, as we said earlier, and go back and look at some of the previous episodes. There's lots there. There's lots there.
And make sure your friends and family, everybody subscribes, because we have even more great videos coming your way. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye, Chula.
Bye.